In every city, in every country, there are two kinds of people living side by side. They walk on the same roads, work in similar offices, and earn almost the same salaries. But after 10 or 20 years, their lives look completely different. One struggles to pay bills, always worried about money, always waiting for the next salary. The other lives calmly, not rich overnight, but stable, confident, and slowly growing wealth. The difference is not luck, the difference is not talent, the real difference is mindset. Most people believe money problems come from low income. They think, if I earn more, everything will be fine. But if income alone made people rich, then every high-salary worker would be wealthy. In reality, many people earn well but still remain broke. At the same time, there are people with average income who build strong financial security over time. The hidden difference begins in the way they think about money, time, and decisions. A poor mindset focuses on today. It looks for comfort, quick happiness, and short-term relief. After a long day of work, it says, "I deserve this," and spends without thinking. It chooses convenience over planning, impulse over discipline. At first, the spending feels small, harmless, even necessary. But day after day, week after week, those small decisions quietly shape the future. A rich mindset thinks differently. It does not reject enjoyment, but it asks a simple question before every decision. Will this help me tomorrow? This mindset understands that every coin saved, every habit built, every skill learned is like planting a seed. The seed does not become a tree in a day, but with time, patience, and care, it grows stronger than anything built quickly. Another hidden difference is the way people see time. A poor mindset sees time as something to survive until the weekend. It counts hours, waits for breaks, and dreams only of escape. A rich mindset sees time as a tool. It asks, what can I learn today? What can I improve today? Even small improvements, repeated every day, create powerful change over years. There is also a difference in how mistakes are seen. Many people feel ashamed of financial mistakes. They avoid looking at bank statements, ignore bills, and hope problems will disappear. But problems do not disappear when ignored. They grow silently. A rich mindset does the opposite. It looks directly at numbers even when uncomfortable. It studies mistakes calmly, learns from them, and moves forward with better decisions. Discipline is another quiet difference. Discipline is not exciting. It does not feel dramatic or powerful in the moment. It is simply the act of doing small, correct things again and again, saving a little each month, tracking expenses, avoiding unnecessary purchases. Reading, learning, improving. These actions feel small, almost invisible, but over time they create results that look extraordinary. Many people chase shortcuts. They search for quick money, fast success, instant results. The internet is full of promises: fast trading, easy profits, overnight wealth. But wealth built quickly often disappears just as quickly. A rich mindset understands that slow growth is not weakness. Slow growth is stability. Like a strong building, wealth needs a deep foundation. Another powerful difference lies in how people react to pressure. When money is tight, a poor mindset panics. It reacts emotionally, makes rushed decisions, borrows without planning, or spends to escape stress. A rich mindset pauses, it breathes, it looks at the situation carefully and chooses actions based on logic, not fear. Calm thinking protects the future. Environment also plays a role. People often copy what they see around them. If everyone around spends freely, complains about money, and avoids planning, it becomes normal to do the same. But those who build wealth often choose different influences. They read books, listen to people who teach discipline, and surround themselves with ideas that encourage growth instead of excuses. One of the biggest differences is how people define success. A poor mindset measures success by visible things: expensive clothes, new phones, luxury items. These things create the image of wealth, but not the reality. A rich mindset measures success by stability, freedom, and peace of mind. True wealth is not always visible, but it is always felt. Patience is perhaps the rarest quality of all. We live in a world of speed: fast food, fast internet, fast entertainment. Everything moves quickly and people expect money to move the same way. But real wealth moves slowly. It grows quietly, almost silently, like a tree in the night. You do not hear it growing, but one day you see its strength. Another difference appears in daily habits. Small daily habits shape financial life more than big decisions. Making coffee at home instead of buying daily. Tracking expenses once a week. Reading 10 pages of a book every night. These actions seem simple, even boring, but they change the direction of life over time. Fear also affects decisions. Many people fear investing because they fear losing money. So they do nothing, and inflation quietly reduces the value of what they save. A rich mindset does not ignore risk, but it learns about it. It studies, asks questions, and moves carefully instead of standing still. There is also a difference in how opportunities are seen. A poor mindset often says, "I can't afford this," and stops thinking. A rich mindset asks, "How can I afford this?" That small change in language opens the mind to solutions, learning, and growth. Gratitude plays a hidden role as well. People who constantly compare themselves to others feel poor even when they have enough. But those who appreciate progress, even small progress, stay motivated. Gratitude creates patience, and patience builds wealth. Energy and focus also matter. Complaining, worrying, and blaming consume energy. Planning, learning, and improving use energy wisely. Over years, this difference becomes enormous. It is important to understand that a rich mindset is not about being born rich. It is not about privilege or luck. It is about habits, decisions, and perspective. Anyone can begin to change the way they think, one small step at a time. The journey does not require perfection. Mistakes will happen, plans will fail sometimes, unexpected expenses will appear, but consistency matters more than perfection. Moving forward slowly is better than standing still perfectly. If you observe people who achieve financial stability, you will notice something interesting. They are not always the smartest. They are not always the highest earners. But they are consistent. They make fewer impulsive decisions. They think long-term. They stay calm when others panic. Another powerful principle is delayed gratification. This means choosing a bigger reward later instead of a small reward now. It sounds simple, but it requires discipline. Every time a person delays unnecessary spending, they strengthen their future. The mindset shift does not happen overnight. It begins with awareness, noticing habits, observing spending. Understanding patterns. Awareness leads to control, and control leads to progress. Over time, progress becomes visible. Savings grow slowly, stress decreases, confidence increases, the future feels less uncertain. This quiet confidence is one of the greatest rewards of a rich mindset. Money itself is only a tool. It is not happiness, but it creates security. It gives choices. It reduces fear. And the mindset that manages money wisely creates a life that feels stable and free. In the end, the hidden difference nobody explains is simple but powerful. Wealth is not built by one big action. It is built by thousands of small decisions made quietly every day, often unnoticed by others. And perhaps the most important truth is this: the moment you change your thinking, you begin to change your future. Not instantly. Not dramatically, but steadily, quietly, and surely. Because mindset is the foundation, and once the foundation is strong, everything built on it becomes stronger with time. As time passes, the difference between these two mindsets becomes more visible, but it still happens quietly. There is no dramatic moment, no sudden transformation. Instead, it is like watching the tide slowly rise. Day by day, small actions begin to shape a different future. One person continues living from salary to salary, reacting to problems as they come. The other begins to plan, even in small ways, and planning slowly replaces fear. One of the most powerful changes in a rich mindset is learning to control emotions around money. Many people spend when they feel stressed, tired, or unhappy. Shopping becomes a way to escape, even if only for a few minutes. But that relief disappears quickly, and the financial pressure returns stronger than before. A disciplined mindset learns to pause. It learns to recognize emotions without letting them control decisions. Another important shift is learning the value of clarity. When people do not track their money, everything feels confusing. They are never sure where the money went, why the balance is low, or how to improve. But the moment someone begins writing expenses, even in a simple notebook, something changes. Numbers replace guesses, reality replaces assumptions, and with clarity comes control. There is also a difference in how people use their free time. Many spend hours scrolling, watching, or distracting themselves without thinking. There is nothing wrong with rest, but endless distraction slowly steals the time that could be used to grow. A rich mindset protects time carefully. Even 1 hour a day spent learning, reading, or building a skill can change a person's future over years. Skills are another silent factor behind financial stability. Income does not grow by accident. It grows when skills improve, when knowledge increases, and when a person becomes more valuable in their work. Those who invest time in learning often see opportunities appear that others never notice. Another hidden habit is planning before spending. Instead of asking, "Can I buy this today?" a disciplined mindset asks, "Is this aligned with my goals?" That small question prevents hundreds of unnecessary purchases over time. It protects not just money but also focus. Many people also underestimate the power of environment. A cluttered space, a disorganized desk, and constant noise can affect thinking more than we realize. People who build strong habits often create calm environments where planning and reflection become easier. A clear space supports a clear mind. There is also a difference in how people react to success. Some people increase spending immediately when income increases. This is called lifestyle inflation. The car becomes more expensive, the rent becomes higher, and the savings remain the same. A rich mindset avoids this trap. It increases savings first and spending later, if at all. One of the most powerful principles of wealth is consistency. Not intensity, not speed, but consistency. Saving a small amount every month is more powerful than saving a large amount once and stopping. Reading a few pages every day is more powerful than reading one book in a single night and never reading again. Fear of missing out also drives many bad financial decisions. People see others traveling, buying, and spending, and they feel left behind. But what is often invisible is the debt, stress, and uncertainty behind those appearances. A calm mindset focuses on personal goals, not comparisons. Another quiet habit of financially stable people is reviewing progress regularly. They do not wait until a crisis appears. They check budgets, review goals, and adjust plans. This habit keeps small problems from becoming large ones. Patience becomes easier when progress is visible. Watching savings grow, even slowly, creates motivation. It builds confidence that effort is working. This confidence reduces the temptation to quit or return to old habits. There is also a strong connection between health and financial stability. When people are exhausted, stressed, or overwhelmed, they make worse decisions. Rest, exercise, and mental calmness improve judgment. A clear mind sees better solutions. Another important difference is long-term thinking. A poor mindset often asks, "What will make me happy today?" A rich mindset asks, "What will make my life better in 5 or 10 years?" That simple shift changes daily choices in powerful ways. Opportunities rarely arrive loudly. They appear quietly, often disguised as hard work or learning. Those who are prepared recognize them. Those who are distracted often miss them. It is also important to understand that building wealth does not mean sacrificing all enjoyment. Life is not meant to be joyless. The key is balance, spending intentionally, not impulsively, enjoying life without destroying the future. Over time, discipline becomes easier. Habits that once felt difficult become natural. Tracking expenses becomes routine, saving becomes automatic, planning becomes normal, and financial stress begins to fade. One day, a person who once struggled begins to notice something surprising. Bills are paid on time. Savings exist. Emergencies no longer feel like disasters. And for the first time, the future feels calm instead of frightening. This calmness is one of the greatest rewards of changing mindset. It is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing you are moving in the right direction. And the journey continues, step by step, decision by decision, habit by habit. Because wealth is not a destination reached in a single moment. It is a path walked patiently, guided by discipline, clarity, and a mindset that sees beyond today. As the years pass, something subtle begins to change in the lives of people who develop a strong financial mindset. At first, the changes are small and almost invisible. A little less stress at the end of the month. A little more confidence when unexpected expenses appear. A little more control over daily decisions. These changes do not look dramatic from the outside, but inside they feel powerful. Because control over money is really control over life. One of the greatest shifts happens in the way people think about security. Many people believe security comes from a job alone. They depend completely on a monthly salary and hope nothing goes wrong. But a rich mindset understands that true security comes from preparation. It comes from savings, from skills, and from having options. When a person builds these quietly over time, fear begins to lose its power. Another important difference is how people respond to change. The world is always changing. Economies change, jobs change, technology changes. Those who resist change often feel left behind. But those who keep learning and adapting remain strong. A rich mindset stays curious. It keeps learning new ideas, new tools, and new ways of thinking. Learning becomes a lifelong habit, not something that ends with school. There is also a powerful lesson in responsibility. Many people blame circumstances for financial struggles. They blame the economy, the government, their job, or their past. And while challenges are real, blaming alone never improves a situation. A rich mindset takes responsibility, even when it feels uncomfortable. Responsibility is not about guilt, it is about power. Because the moment a person takes responsibility, they also gain the ability to change things. Another quiet habit of financially stable people is patience with progress. They do not expect instant results. They understand that meaningful change takes time. Just as a builder does not expect a strong building to appear overnight, a disciplined person does not expect wealth to grow instantly. They trust the process even when progress feels slow. There are moments on this journey when motivation disappears. Everyone experiences this. There are days when saving feels pointless, when discipline feels tiring, and when old habits feel easier. But this is where mindset matters most. Discipline continues even when motivation fades, and those small actions, repeated even on difficult days, create the greatest long-term results. Another powerful difference lies in how people handle success. Small progress can sometimes lead to overconfidence. A person saves a little money and then feels free to spend more, but a strong mindset stays balanced. It celebrates progress quietly but continues moving forward with the same discipline. Gratitude becomes deeper as the journey continues. Instead of constantly chasing more, people begin to appreciate stability, peace of mind, and freedom from constant financial stress. These quiet rewards are more valuable than many realize. Relationships also change. Financial stress often creates tension between friends, partners, and families, but when money is managed wisely, conversations become calmer. Decisions become clearer, and relationships become stronger because they are no longer built on worry and pressure. There is also a deeper understanding of value. People with a rich mindset begin to value experiences, health, and time more than material things. They realize that money is most powerful when it supports a meaningful life, not when it is used only for appearances. Another important realization is that comparison is dangerous. In a world full of social media and constant images of success, it is easy to feel behind. But most of what we see is only the surface. Real financial strength is often invisible. The calmest, most secure people are not always the loudest or the most visible. Over time, a disciplined mindset begins to influence every area of life. Health improves because routines become stronger. Work improves because focus increases. Confidence improves because progress becomes visible. The same habits that build wealth also build character. There's also a moment when people begin to understand the true meaning of freedom. Freedom is not luxury, freedom is choice. The choice to say no to things that do not matter, the choice to take opportunities when they appear, the choice to live without constant fear of the next bill or the next crisis. And yet, even at this stage, the journey never truly ends. A rich mindset is not a destination. It is a way of thinking that continues to grow and evolve. There are always new lessons to learn, new challenges to face, and new goals to pursue. Looking back, many people realize that the hardest part was not saving money or learning skills. The hardest part was changing their thinking, because mindset shapes habits and habits shape results. If there is one truth that becomes clear at the end of this journey, it is this: small decisions matter more than big plans. The choice to save a little, the choice to learn a little, the choice to think calmly instead of reacting emotionally. These choices, repeated hundreds of times, quietly build a different life. And perhaps the most encouraging part of this story is that anyone can begin. It does not matter where someone starts. It does not matter how small the first step is. What matters is beginning and continuing. Imagine two people standing at the same starting point. One waits for the perfect moment, the perfect income, the perfect plan. The other begins with small steps, imperfect but consistent. After years pass, the difference between them becomes enormous. This is the hidden difference nobody explains. Wealth is not only about money. It is about thinking, patience, discipline, and awareness. It is about understanding that the future is built quietly, one decision at a time. And in the end, the goal is not simply to become rich. The goal is to become calm, confident, and free from constant financial fear. Because true wealth is not measured only in numbers, it is measured in peace of mind. So wherever you are today, remember this. The habits you build now are shaping the life you will live tomorrow. The mindset you choose today is shaping the person you will become, and change does not require a perfect plan. It requires one small step taken today and repeated tomorrow and continued quietly day after day. That is how the hidden difference becomes visible. That is how ordinary people build extraordinary lives. And that is how mindset changes everything.